with respect from the heart. So in stick fighting, right? So my primary concern if he goes to hit me is, you know, I want to defang the snake.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
my
go hard.
peaky's pretty messed
up. Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. From the tag I accidentally got last time.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, let's just go slow so I can illustrate. Is, you know, defang the snake, hit the hand, right? Now, once we get in where I can hit him and he can hit me, like once we get into clinch range, right? Now he does that, we've got our abanicos, right? So out at distance, when I'm sparring, I want to stay at hand range. Because if he can hit me and I can hit him, that's an exchange. And that's going to hurt like hell with the blade, or, well, a blade's going to cut, or a stick. If you're taking blows, I'm getting hit, he's getting hit, it's going to hurt, you know, a lot. So in a stick fight, if we're really fighting, and there's this misnomer. If I have a machete, if I cut him, he's just going to die. No. You know, if a bullet goes through your spine or in your eye into your head, you still have about 17 to 18 seconds before your body stops twitching and the nerves stop moving in your body. So it's not like, even if I had a perfect shot or a perfect, you know, cut, his body's just going to stop moving. And I've seen ones where, you know, a guy gets cut with a machete here, he keeps fighting, and then, you know, like 12 seconds in, he drops. But he still fought after getting hit. So when people are like, you know, they do point sparring, and like, oh, that would have killed him. Okay, well, maybe I did that. But in the next, you know, 12 to 18 seconds, what can he do to me? Right? So I've got to be able to manage the fact that, yeah, I want this. I want this. If I get this, I've got to prepare. Well, I've got that. Now what's happening, right? It continues, right? So that's why we focus on defang the snake. But once we go to medio range, I want to clinch, right? Now, first, I want to wrap up his weapon so he can't hit me, right? And I want to present a threat. So I'm going to go to hit him with this puño. He blocks. I start to abanico, right? We get in this range. We're doing our abanicos, right? I've got high, low line, right? But from this point, of course, if I can effect a disarm, then I want to do my disarms, right? And the most basic, if I crash in and I get to this, is my snake disarm, right? You just take your weapon away. But if I crash in and I get my abanicos, maybe I'm fighting, I don't get a disarm. Well, right now I'm going to shuck this and go to stick clinch, right? Where I have control of the arm. Now, right now I have this. Maybe I have an overwrap. This isn't really great. You don't want an underwrap. You want an overwrap, right? You know, if I'm out here and I got control of the weapon, this is more of your stick clinch, where I'm here and I'm here, right? This is, let's switch sides. I want to make sure that I have this right here and the puño is in his spine and I'm controlling this. I've got my headbutts, but from here, I'm going to shift him forward and I'm going to Soto take him to the ground, right? Switch sides real quick. So when I'm out, I want to defang. When we start to come in, I want to get into clinching, right? So we call this a stalemate. He's got my hand, I've got his hand. I want to get the stick clinch. I'm going to break that, come to clinch. If I'm going to Soto, I'm going to drop here. And just like in MMA where I do ground and pound, I have reach when I'm up that I don't have to hit the ground. I can strike him from here, right? So in stick fighting, those are your priorities, right? Now, defang, go to hit me. Sorry, go in a fighting stance. Defang can be moving out of range and taking out mobility. And if he's going for my head, can be there. So I notice you're modifying, but just swing for my head, and that's the attack. But yeah, if somebody, I wouldn't duck down on a 10. If somebody's going like this for your head, that's a defang because I just took out his mobility, right? Or to the hand. But now he's here. Now see, because I'm on the outside, I'm on an underwrap. But it only works because, look how I got the weapon. Now this is a draw. I want to break that, come to my clinch. Now this is going to be a little awkward, but as long as I maintain control, I can take him down. Strike.
Strip as needed.
And strip and exit the scene. So the main priorities are 1, defang. Number 2, get to your clinch. This happens, you want to break it, get to where your body control. Now we'll get into a couple other clinches in a minute. But your most basic, give me an angle 1, is this clinch here, or somehow I get an overwrap here. Go ahead. I'm going to break that. So what you do when he grabs, use the puño to pull down. This would be a strike to the neck, but just for this, I'm grabbing here. Now, let's talk about a couple other clinches, right? I'm going to break out. So give me angle 1. I'm going to go here, abanico, shooting in. And this is what we call our seatbelt clinch, right? So I'm shooting in here and I grab here. I've got his arm in control and I've got him in this clinch so he can't hit me, right? So I'm gonna do it from here. Just stay right there. Right there. There you go. When he goes angle 1, I'm gonna abanico break out. You wanna see where he's at? So I'm gonna drive in, abanico, right? So I go 1, 2, abanico. This shoots up in here. I want this as tight as I can. This is gonna go by his belt, by his hip. Grab the stick, pull it in. From here, step this way a little bit so I put you on the mat. I'm gonna Soto, take him down here. I have the weapon. I can do my strikes from here. The priority at first, especially in a real fight, is to stay standing, right? But why would I clinch and throw him if he has a weapon? Because if he has a weapon, what's going to happen if I don't clinch? He's going to keep hitting me, right? And if I don't throw him on the ground, he's in a position of advantage. Just like in Jiu-Jitsu, I want to get to a position of advantage. So he goes to hit me. Boom, and I want to be like, all right, boom, get him down where he can't fight. Now, if I have multiple opponents, I can disengage. So, priorities in a fight, and that's what we'll drill in sparring, is defang, clinch, then you get to your throws, and then, striking from standing is akin to ground and pound. I don't have to give up my knees, especially if I have to deal with other people. And then the same thing though, so if I get from this way to this position and say I do go to the ground, right now I've got to fight from the ground, but still the priority is going to be ground and pound, get up, get out. Right? So we're going to do some drills today. First, we're going to do defang the snake, just simple sparring. Then we're going to go and watch what I do. You want to stand where you can see what I'm doing? You can stay where you're at. Right, either I can wolf drop into a wrap. I can go inside deflection in a wrap. It's on the number 2. I can go 4 wall into an under wrap. Right, or I could go high wing into a wrap. Now, I'll show you on angle 1, here a little bit. If I'm going this way, you're going to end with an overwrap. If I'm going this way, I'm going to end with an overwrap. But if I'm on the outside, on an angle 2, I'm going to end on an underwrap. It works when the weapon is in their hand. Take that out of your hand. Say I'm on the outside and I do an underwrap. It's a little harder with the empty, right? We prefer overwrap. But with the weapon, when I do this and that's cocked, now this hand is locked in. It's engaged as long as he holds on. If he lets go of that, it changes it. But he wants to hit me with it. So as long as he holds on to that, this is okay. Right? So on the outside, I've got 4 wall into underwrap. I've got high wing into underwrap, and I present a threat to get this, chuck that, and then come in. Right, so when I go break out, I come to this position, and actually that was a bad one, because I was thinking of two things. But break in, coming to the outside clinch. Now say he gives me an angle 2, and I crash in, I come into my under seatbelt, right? So stand right here and hit me at an angle. I'm gonna do angle 1, where I come to the outside seatbelt, give me angle 2, where I crash in, and I go to my low seatbelt, right? Because we got the 3 basic clinches in stick. 1 is gonna be my arm wrap, and then neck. If I'm in tight, you know, it'll be here. If I have weapon control, it'll be out here. Give me angle 1. We've got our high seat belt, and then angle 2, low seat belt. Right? And now the important thing is to sync it up so there's no space. Stand behind him real quick right now. Stay where you're at. Nate. So watch where my hand position is. When I crash in, look how there's no space here. And this isn't out, this is in. This isn't good. I want this here. Where the belt is, the hand comes out and pulls back. I want to control. I want to be inside his shoulder blade so that I have that control in case it slips. And then I want to be like this. And like a wrestler, I want to have my head in nice and tight so that I'm controlling where his body goes. Give me angle 2. Step right about there. And when I crash in, notice, come back over here real quick. The overwrap here, I'm pinching with this so he can't retract that. Now this is going to be as tight as it can be, and I want to get my head and ear in here, and this is my low seatbelt position, right? So on angle 1, you've got the wrist wrap, and if he blocks, I'm clearing, but if not, I just go straight to this clinch. Now when he blocks, before I clear, I can abanico high and low. I can jut this down, reach up, and go to my clinch. Or, angle 1 again, if I crash to the outside, notice the checking hand and C-grip thumb up. I'm going boom, boom, and I come out here. On the 2, this can be a rake. I can strike, but then I'm coming to this overwrap. It's nice and tight, and I come to that position. We're going to go through some drills where you guys work those, so you'll familiarize yourself with this because we've done these. So, a little bit.
Not all in the series. Everything's been separate.
We've done them all.
We've done them all, but they've all been separate.
Not together, yes, but we've done them all. But you've done the overwrap, the underwrap, you've done high seatbelt, low seatbelt. We're going to put them together. Once you guys have drilled it, then we'll spar it because you got to be able to go from defang to your clinch, right? To your takedown and your hits, right? Now, we're not going to get into it now, but the more advanced on the ground, we start to use stick grappling, start choking with the stick on the ground and stuff like that. So, gear up. We're going to start with defang the snake, and then we'll start working on the clinching. And then after we do that, we're going to do 3-minute rounds.